For numbers 13 and 14, we have two different functions. We have the upper function and the lower function, but notice after these two functions intersect, the upper and the lower actually switch. So we have to be very careful when we set up our integrand. Now, I relabeled these functions as y1. Y1 here is negative x squared plus 3x. I'm going to rename that as f of x. And y2 is, I'm going to, 2x cubed minus x squared minus 5x. I'm going to rename that as g of x. So when we're finding the areas between these, our upper and our lower, they switch. For the first part of that graph, we are integrating from negative 2 to 0. So I'm going to integrate from negative 2 to 0. For the next integral, I'm integrating from 0 to 2. And these upper and lower are going to switch. For the first one, this first integral, the upper function is the 2x cubed minus x squared. So that is g of x. And then the lower is f of x. So that would be f of x dx. And now, if you plug that into FNINT, you can use y1 and y2, but notice this is my upper function and this is my lower function, and I'm integrating from negative 2 to 0, negative 2 to 0. And different than 11 and 12, I'm using vertical rectangles here. If you use vertical rectangles, then you're integrating with respect to x. Now the next part, I'm going from 0 to 2. And now they switch. So now f of x is the upper function and g of x is the lower function. Now, if you want to pause the video, you can plug this one in, do that at the same time. And then this should turn out to be equal to 16. Now notice, I just used g of x and f of x, and when you plug it in using FNINT, feel free to use y1 and y2. So this would be y2 minus y1, and then this would be y1 minus y2. Now in number 14, if I move this up a little bit, number 14, we have three different parts of the graph. We have from negative 2 to negative 1. So negative 2 to negative 1. And in this case, the upper equation, or the upper function is that line. So that would be g of x minus f of x. And then for the second integral, when we integrate from negative 1 to 2, from negative 1 to 2, we are going to have the upper function be f of x. And then for the third is from 2 to 3. So this would be from 2 to 3. And what happens here is the line is the upper function again. So this will be g of x minus f of x dx. Now, if you plug all of this into your calculator, okay, if you plug it in, you should end up with the exact answer turns out to be 8 1/6. But if you did this as using FNINT, then this should be at 8.167 or 8.16 repeating. But here's your answer for number 14, and the answer for 13 would be 16.